Are you planning a trip to Maya Bay? In this video, I'll share my experience visiting this iconic beach made famous by the 2000 movie The Beach, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. I'll take you along a day trip that includes snorkeling, a visit to Phi Phi Island, and my honest thoughts on what it's really like to visit. It was way more crowded than I expected, but I did manage to find a quiet spot on Maya Bay Beach and even discovered a completely deserted beach on Phi Phi Island that you won't want to miss. If you're thinking about making this trip, then stick around and show you what to expect and how to make the most of your visit.
So firstly, I'm getting picked up in this to be driven from my hotel over to the port where the speedboat is. And because I'm staying a bit further south on the island, which was my preference, because it's a little quieter, I'm the first person on, so we're going to be picking up some more people on the way that are going to be joining us today on this trip to Maya Bay. Very excited. Got my iced coffee from 7-Eleven, so I'm all ready. So here we are, we've arrived at Maya Bay, well, the other side of Maya Bay. We've got to get off this boat first. It was the most rockiest ride I think I've ever done on a boat before. I was sat right at the front, and it's like being on a roller coaster. Like you can feel the peak before it comes up and then crash when you go down. So we've got a little walk to go through the cliffs here, and then we'll get to the very infamous Maya Bay, which is from the movie The Beach. These are the rules. So do not remove coral, don't use sunscreens that harken to coral. So it looks like there's lots of facilities here that they've built into the island. So you've got toilets. There's loads of places you can buy food at over here. I'm guessing is the way to protect the island to stop all of the erosion, because you can already see like there's all these pipes that are in here. Imagine if you had everybody walking across the, like thousands of people a day walking across this, it would just get destroyed. So we've got half an hour before the boat picks us up again, so it's not too bad. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at it. It's beautiful. I mean, the beach looks beautiful. I'm going to go down because it's quite busy here. It also looks quite busy down there as well. Let's have a look. So there's a couple of rules. You're not allowed to swim. You're not allowed to snorkel. I think this is because all the people that have been there in the past have caused damage. And it was actually closed. It only reopened about 4 days ago. I'm now here on the 4th of October in 2024, but it didn't open until the 1st. So yeah, they have to do quite a lot of restoration to keep this from getting destroyed because there's so many people visiting. And previously boats were allowed to just moor straight into the bay. People were everywhere, but they had to put a stop to that quite a few years ago because it was causing so much damage to the environment. But let's see, I have a feeling this will also be causing damage to the environment. But let's have a look. Also, top tip for me, so my shoes don't go missing. I like to use this carabiner on my bag, so it keeps my shoes on there. So it's so much easier. Plastic bottle just thrown on the beach there. I mean, the beach itself, the sand is absolutely beautiful. Just look at that sand. That's like something I've never seen before. It's like so... It almost looks like clay. It's so soft. And then there's water in it. It's like putty. That is crazy. I wouldn't even call that sand. I think this is something else. Because there's no grains to it. It's just so fine. Like the finest sand I think I've ever seen. And you can see out here in the bay these boats aren't allowed to come any further. There's a little line which basically stops them from coming any further in. They're only allowed to stay there. So some tours you can get will take you to that line. I mean, the water is gorgeous. Just look at that blue, clear water. I can see why people would want to go snorkeling in there, because you just want to have a look and see what's actually going on and what you'd be able to see. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting really, because it's a very popular place, it's a tourist place, but it's just a bit crazy to see hundreds of people all just stood around on a beach in this small cave. I have mixed feelings about this. Just like, look at it. Not the idyllic place that I was imagining. Maybe I've been spoiled because I've had pretty much private beaches almost to myself in Koh Lanta. So to have that peace and quiet and see no one around, and then so many people all around you. Let's go and have a look over under the cave bits over here. Did you see a girl over there with a plastic bottle trying to fill it up with sand from the beach? Which I'm sure is not allowed. They said, like, don't take anything, don't touch anything, just leave it as it is. They do have people walking up and down, picking up rubbish with a megaphone, I think, to tell people off if they're doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. It's a bit quieter down this side, I like this. Oh wow. This is nice. It's a bit more peaceful. Wonder how far we can go down this way. It's running. I think if your expectation is you're going to be able to come here and have like a quiet moment and just like reflect, relax, that's not what's going to happen here. Especially if you're over on this bit over here. Now, if you're brave, you're going to have a private bit of this almost yourself. And I just kept walking along the beach. There's the cave overhang here, and then past that cave overhang, you do have to be willing to get at least up to your waist deep in water. But then you've got this whole little bit here where pretty much nobody is. There's only maybe a couple of people. And you can see over there in the distance all of the crowds all on the main beach. If you just come a little bit further back, you will be able to get a little bit of peace. But yeah, be prepared to get wet up to your waist. So that's my tip of how you can get this private bit of beach here without really anyone at Maya Bay. Although watch out for this, because it looks deceiving, right? It looks like you can just walk across. But it's the splashback that gets you. Hi. Hi. That's the thing that gets you, it's the splashback. But now everyone's discovered it because I went up there. Well, there was a few other people up there, that's how I discovered it. And so here you have it. The world famous The Beach from the movie The Beach, otherwise known as Maya Bay, here on the Phi Phi Islands in Thailand. Ever since I watched that movie as a teenager, it's always been a dream that I come and visit here. So it's quite cool that we're actually here. I suppose it's just a sign of what happens to things when everybody in the world knows about them. This is probably one of like the earliest viral beaches nowadays. That happens on TikTok all the time. People will share a beach and be like, oh, look at this cool beach, look at this place. And then all of a sudden, thousands of people turn up because they all find out about it. So it's nice to finally go here. Although I don't think it's as peaceful. Not as it was in the movie anyway. Definitely no longer a secret. So a bit of background about this beach. It actually, when the movie was filmed, I was reading online that the production team planted coconut trees here because they wanted it to look more tropical. They also dug up some other things, which actually was the thing that was holding the sand in place for the beach. So when they pulled that up, it actually meant that the beach started to erode. And so the actual government took the production company, which I think was 20th Century Fox at the time, to court to say that they needed to pay for this area to be restored because it caused so much damage. And they won, had to pay, basically to re-fix the beach. And that's been a project that went on for many, many years, then open to tourism. But then the problem was that the tourists were coming, docking on the beach, people were snorkeling, things were getting damaged, and the ecosystem was getting worse. So then it was flagged up to the authorities, they closed the area, and again, there was more conservation that was needed to try and protect this area. And now it's very heavily regulated. There's a limit on how many people can come. The boats have to stay at a certain distance away from the beach. And like I've said already, people aren't allowed to snorkel here. You're not allowed to swim in the water. It's there to try and protect the marine life that lives in this beach. Up to 3,000 people a day were visiting this beach previously, which obviously if you think about how much of an impact that's going to have on the wildlife and the nature that's here and the fish in the sea, this area is now very well protected. And it's very well limited. That's why it's only just recently reopened in the last couple of days, because they had to do the restoration work first before they reopen it. That's the end of my time here on this beach. It's so strange. It's just odd because like no one's actually like laid on the beach on a towel, or no one's like relaxing here. They're just all coming and looking at it, taking pictures and going. It's just a very strange vibe. It's not what you're used to seeing in a beach. Now we're going back to the boat, and the boat is going to take us to a snorkeling spot not too far away from here. I think we've got 2 snorkeling spots this morning. We can't snorkel this afternoon because the tide goes too low, so it's not safe. We're going to have lunch on the main Phi Phi Island that we're going to head back to after snorkeling, and then we get some time just on Phi Phi Island to relax. Total cost for this one-day excursion from Koh Lanta was 1,100 baht. Now I think that's a reduced price because it's kind of just the beginning of the high season, so it's quite quiet. On the flyers and everything else I saw, it's around 1,800 baht. And then you also have to pay 400 baht for the entry to the national park, which they make you pay when you basically arrive to get on the boat before you get over here. This has been made to try and stop people from walking on other areas of the island, but it doesn't really matter. People are doing it anyway. So it just proves the point of the issue, I think, around this is like there's so many people here. You can try and control the damage it's going to do, but I have a feeling it's going to probably end up in the same outcome as a few years ago. There was so many people here, it's causing damage. So I'm ready. I've got my goggles, got my mouthpiece, got my life jacket on, got my fins. It's time to go snorkeling. There are so many fishes down there. Not like the best I've ever seen, but still quite a good amount. It's actually really sad. There's so much bleached coral down there. Oh, there's like a few specks where it is colourful. Pretty sad. Wow, that was good. How many fishes are there? So we just had a lunch and it's chaos. Literally, like, there's just loads of boats arriving and dropping everyone off to get their food in the middle of the island. But if you walk all the way down the long walk that you have, you get to a nice quiet beach on the other side. I've got myself a coconut. Oh, no people. Amazing. Okay, let's get down onto this beautiful beach. Wow, look at this. There's a hammock. I'm gonna go sit in the hammock. Now, you can actually go swimming in this beach, I was told. You can swim up to where the balls are there. Let's put that in the shade. Is this hammock gonna be able to handle my weight? Let's try it. Oh my god. It feels like it's okay. It's making a few creaking noises. Oh, so nice. Try to not have sun cream. Oh my goodness, the sea is like coming out to the... That might make me rethink the placement of my bag. That's much better now. I've got my Factor 50 sun cream on. This is so peaceful. I wasn't expecting that this would be on Phi Phi Island. Honestly, there's so many people, like hundreds of people, probably thousands of people that are getting off of boats to come here to have lunch, and they're all eating that middle bit. So I just had no idea that literally a 2-minute walk away and you get to this. So I would recommend, for sure, coming further down to come visit that other beach because it's very quiet. But bring a towel, because if you can't get on that hammock, everybody kind of just looked at it and they were like, oh, we can't really do anything because there's no loungers, there's nowhere to sit. But yeah, it was nice. It's a real shame because I think this is probably what they were trying to avoid on the other island. But it's just madness. Like, there must be about 50 or 60 boats just on this tiny little bit of beach. And it's like, they're pulling straight up into the beach. There's a small area here that you can swim in because it's literally like a dock. And yeah, it's just so busy, which it's gonna be. It's a tourist place, I know this, James. I suppose it's just sad for you to see such a beautiful beach, such beautiful sand, such beautiful, like, clear crystal waters. But then it's just surrounded by boats. But I suppose I'm part of the problem. I'm also here, consuming it. Yeah. It's just crazy. And so that's all I've got time for on this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. That's what Maya Beach looks like here in Thailand. So I do recommend going. It's worth seeing, even if it's just worth seeing to be part of the experience of all the crowds and the craziness. But as I now walk across 12 other boats to get to the one for us to take us back to the island of Koh Lanta, I think I've made my decision that I won't be staying here on Phi Phi Island. It is just so busy. And it's just not the vibe I'm going for here. But anyway, as always, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a little thumbs up. And why not subscribe and continue to see the rest of my journey around the world. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.